I'll be a place for you. 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 I'll be a place for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to First Pro Audio. How you doing? You alright, are you? That's good. As you can see, I am barely cladded. It is so hot over here at the moment. I am literally melting. I'm melting. Yeah, it's hot. It's damn hot. So yeah, the old vest has come out. I'm even wearing shorts, and I don't really do shorts, not with these chicken legs. You know what I mean? Eh? Oh, they've started laughing at me already. I get no chances, do I? No chances. God, jeez, no one cares. So anyway, let's do some hellos, because you know that's the kind of guy I am. What's this, Henry? 19 months, mate. Whoa. Lots of music in their months. All right, the same kind of music that goes round and round and round, but you occasionally get to hear one that you haven't heard. You know, the thing is, what do you do, right? When you've got a bunch of records, right, as many as I've got, and then you learn that a lot of them are asked for over and over again, you end up playing those records, don't you? Because that's what is sensible, isn't it? To play the records people like, you know? So that's exactly what I do, mate. Not half. Yes. So anyway, hello, Henry. Hope you're well, buddy. John Keller, yes, I have. I stuck that track straight into the list. So that's in there. I think as well. Hang on, is this the list with? Yeah, it's got Jetting Off in this list as well, and Long Shot. So, you know, you got a few of the ones that you like there, mate. To be fair, I quite like a lot of them as well, so we haven't got Steve Stockton here tonight. I'm guessing that he's tired, you know. But, and Cathedra's just not answering me now, you know. She's always here, but never here, as you know, not till the end. You know what I mean, John? You know what I mean. Now, Kimberly. I don't know if you're still here, but Thursdays is the only night that I don't do any cover versions. It's all about my original tracks. You know, give them some airplay. You know, I do plenty for other tracks of other people's stuff. Besides that, obviously I've heard of Alice in Chains, but Chris Connell, not sure of. I'm not sure. I might have heard some records. I can't think of any records by Alice in Chains either, even though I know the name. And like I said, I am kind of limited, and you know, even though I can do a lot of different styles, if I change the key and put it in my key, you know, I can sing a lot more than what I give myself credit for, I guess. But in general, I try to just stick to the stuff that I know I can get away with, you know, like you do. You know, keep it sensible. You know what I mean? So, what we're gonna do now? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my normal. Get this running. Get that running. Whack that up like that. There we go. Get my guitars in there, so you got other things to look at. And gonna play the first track, as requested by John. Here we go, John. Keep calling. go. Keep Calling, that one's called. Just another one of the instrumentals from the older collection of instrumentals from when I used Nuendo. And this is Shutters. Everybody knows this one. Okay, now I've got a question, right? How on earth can I have a connection issue on StreamYard. Right, with the, little, your little bars, of how much signal strength you've got. How could I have that coming up when I'm wired? My PC doesn't even contain a wireless network card. So therefore I can only have cable, hardwire, Ethernet. I shouldn't be having this issue. I shouldn't be having any internet issues. I've got a strong box connection. I don't have any problems ever all day long. And then when I come on to do my show, or watch my show back on YouTube, it just buffers. Whereas if I watch any other show, I can literally put any other video on, and it'll run right through it. Now, if that ain't showing me that there's funny business going on with my channel, I don't know what does. Infamy. They've all got it in for me. Hello, Mark. How you doing? Good to see you. And hello, Steve. And love to Nicole, mate. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, a couple of bangers already, look, eh? Keep Calling, that was a good one. Shutters, can't go wrong. Next track as well, always asked for. Always. Anyway, good morning, Mark. Good day, mate. Jolly good to see you. The goal is up, everybody, so if you wanted an extra hour of this wonderful music that I've produced over the years, you can obviously join in and help it out. Here we go. This is CKG, Love Online.
Thing was making true connections. I was changed in an instant, in the blink of an eye, with an introduction to the most beautiful store. I was planning to meet her in the Cedar, California. We fell in love over 5,000 miles away. I was planning to meet her in the Cedar, Cathedral kind of way. We fell in love over 5,000 miles away, Cathedral kind of way. You couldn't convince me that meeting online would ever amount to anything at all. But I was changed in an instant, in the blink of an eye, with a true connection with the most beautiful soul. I was planning to meet her in the Cedar, California. Over 5,000 miles away, I was planning to meet her in the Cedar, Cathedral kind of gray. We fell in love over 5,000 miles away, Cathedral kind of gray. cat grey. I was planning to meet her in Reseda, California. Could be the cat grey. I was planning to meet her in Reseda, California. Could be the cat grey. Found love online, love online. We found love online, love online. I was planning to meet her, love online. We found love online, love online. I was planning to meet her in Reseda, California. Could be the cat grey. I was planning to meet her in Reseda, California. Could be the cat grey. Found love online, love online. We found love online, love online. I was planning to meet her, love online. We found love online, love online. I was planning to meet her in Reseda, complete cat grey.
Yeah, and like perfect timing, in she comes into the show, eh? And she's actually here. Are you actually there though, Kathina? I mean, because I can see you. Hang on, the speakers.
Hola.
I can see you there, but are you
Opa.
actually here?
Opa. Howdy.
Oh, hello. That's a nice avatar you've got there. You know,
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's not the one I
that's
want to put up.
that's just not your face though, is it? You know,
Yeah, the
what
face
I
for
mean?
radio.
sort it out, mate. Sort it out.
I'm trying to get my stuff sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see how it is. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yay. Ooh,
Ah, there it is. What took us so long to find each
I like
other,
that one.
baby?
The colors blend with your scheme and theme and such.
Indeed.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let me get something out of my eye and I'll be
It's
right
all
back.
good. Oh well, you know.
Especially
take
my
your
nose
time.
water and everything.
Take your time, Kafida. Hurry
Okay.
up.
That boy thing, just
All right. Yeah.
remember
Hello.
everybody.
Kafida, everybody. Kafida.
Smack.
Yeah.
Hello, Henry.
Jolly good to see you,
JK.
Kafida.
Miss Shawn.
I can't believe you're here on time.
Oh my goodness. What? Yeah. Judy. Hi, Judy. Hi, Steve.
Yeah. Well, you're not here actually on time. You're late, but you know, for you, it's on time. You know what I mean?
No. Anyway, moving on. Hello, Mark.
Anywho, moving on.
There's
Hello,
a-
Butterfly Girl, as well. It's lovely to see you, my darling.
Yes.
And
Howdy,
you,
man.
and you, Judy. Richard G. Hello. Hello, Judy. How you doing?
Her husband occasionally watches or listens, I do believe,
Nah,
too.
don't believe you. Don't believe you. Isn't that right, Butterfly Girl? Eh? Hello.
Okay, I'll be back.
Love the sound effects. Yeah. Well, it's a round of applause for everybody that's just come in as well. Yeah. Welcome in. How lovely to see you all. You know, love you all. Yeah. Yeah, great, isn't it? Well, I don't believe in gimmicks. You know, I don't really do gimmicks. Obviously, I use them. Don't keep laughing at me just because you think you can, all right? See, these people can't get the right staff, you know, so I've had to employ these bots. They're idiots, you know, they're idiots. You know, don't let them know I told you that, though, but they are idiots. It's not right, is it? It's just not right. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. It's not me. It is a nightmare. See what I did there?
Restlessly turning, waking in a cold sweat, still believing that I'm there, and the beast is tracking me down. Can you take away my nightmares? I don't wanna see them in my head again. Can you take away my nightmares? Hopelessly running, but getting nowhere. Still believing that I'm there. Anxiety building, and I can't escape. Can you take away my nightmares? I don't wanna see them in my head again. Can you take away my nightmares? Can you take away my nightmares? I don't wanna see them in my head again. Can you take away my nightmares? Can you take away my nightmares? I don't wanna see them in my head again. Can you take away my nightmares? Nightmares. Can you take away my nightmares? Nightmares. She's never wanted too much. She's never asked for anything, not anything at all. But is it asking too much? She's never asked for too much, yet she deserves it all. She's reaching out her heart. to love you can find someone else that gives up. And can you tell me why you're still here? What's the message that you got not clear? Don't wanna talk about it anymore. It's our time to agree that we disagree. It's out of 10. It's admitting the truth. It's a pointless pursuit. It's out of 10. Have you listened to a word I've said? 'Cause your voice is getting to my head. Can't take this anymore. It's a time to agree that we disagree. It's out of 10. It's admitting the truth. It's a pointless pursuit. It's out of 10. It's out of 10. It's out of 10. It's our time to agree that we disagree. It's out of 10. It's admitting the truth. It's a pointless pursuit. It's out of 10. It's out of 10. It's out of 10. It's out of 10.
Oh, almost went straight into a next song, which I wonder if anybody could guess what that next one was from that very first note. I doubt it. But yeah, I've not heard from Stephen. I'm guessing he's not doing great. Thing is, Stephen's got a lot of problems. Mainly, to be honest. I mean, he's in a wheelchair. He's got one leg. He's only got one side of his body that works. One arm. He has to move his own head because he's got a vertebrae that's gone or something in his neck. But it's funny enough, his main problem is IBS. You know, and that plays him up all the time. So, yeah. It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. Kafida, are you even with me, are you? I'm guessing not. No, clearly not. So, yeah, let's let the next one roll, shall we? Let's just crack this open. Let's keep on with the music. Better than listening to me chat away. Dancing in Dreams. From the Night Rider collection, track number 77. Very enjoyable track, this one. Written within 2 hours. Crazy, I know. look. Talk of the devil and he shall appear. Hello, mate. Yep, everybody's thinking of you, mate. Everybody's asking after you. That's why I sent you a message just a minute ago. I don't know if you even read it. But good to see you, mate. I know you have your IBS issues. You know, that's your main one, isn't it? So, anyway, let's crack on with this then. This is for Nicole. If you're still listening, Nicole, it doesn't matter anyway, because we still play it. It's still cool. This is Circuits Blown. We're cracking out the tracks today. Here on Radio 1FA. Back to back. Original tracks. It's a full binder rock, mate. Not off!
Exactly.
great record, that one. Great. These are good as well, aren't they, Cherinator? Hey? Yeah, you know which ones are next. Glad you're here, Cherinator, and thanks, D-Rock, mate. You got us started, mate. That's one down, 4 to go. This is Trusting Change. Detached from my feelings. Beginning all over again. Right back to the start. I welcome wisdom into my heart. It's a step in the right direction. Staring me in the face is the one thing I can trace. It's a step Okay, Kafida, Unleashed is already in the mix, just to let you know.
I knew you'd have something to say about that. I mean, what?
And what else was it? Oh, your speaker's gone off again because you're always disappearing.
My whole contact is bugging me. I'm just going to
Right.
deal with it.
So, Unleashed is already in there. The sweet spot isn't, but the groove isn't either.
The groove is groovy. Just say this.
The thing is, I always set up a really long playlist, and then you come along and throw loads more.
I come in and just
I can't play them all. You know, I'll choose a certain
Demand
selection
them all.
for the night.
well, and the chat
you know,
helps.
Well, there's particular tracks
We're all on that bus.
you know, that are asked for regularly, so they get played.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They get more. So thanks for that, Cherinator, as well, mate. That's 2 down, 3 to go. Wonderful. We've still got an hour's worth of music though. So if we don't reach the goal, you know, there's still an hour's worth of music. And this is a carry on from
Say about
Trust and Change. This is Second Chances.
$1 million song.
Moving on.
Seems to go away.
it's already been played, David. But hello, mate. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, you missed that. I always plays it near the front, near the start of the show. I do that because normally that's when you're in, so I play it roughly for that, you know. But good to see you, mate. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice, me old fella. I haven't been doing a lot of YouTube lately, to be honest. So I haven't even been into your show, mate. And I apologise for that. But like I said, I've been so busy doing lots of, as you guys would call it, yard work. But I've reposted my front fence and painted it, put some lights up, put some new gravel down, put a little retainer fence, a small retainer fence with some stones in front of my house, put a new number plate on and my address on there with the light on it and stuff. So just some nice titivations, trying to make the place look a bit more respectable, you know. And hello, Lisa. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming in. What's this? Sorry you're late. No, no one's ever late. No one's ever late. You're just here when you're here. You just stroll in, fashionably late. You know, fashionably late. That's a different thing. You know. Oh, you had not a good night of sleep. That's not good. That's not good. Well, I hope you can just chill out anyway, listen to a bit of music. If we make the goal tonight, we'll get an extra hour, but we'll see how it goes. We've got 2 so far, haven't we? We've got to make 3, haven't we? Yeah, we've got two of the goals so far. Yeah, 2. Let's have a look. So yeah, there's the goal. Yeah, we've got 2. 3 to go. If we hit 3 more, then I'll do an extra hour. Yeah, David, oh, thank you, Lisa. Oh, bless you. That's only leaving us 2 now, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's carry on with the music then, because it is Radio 1FA, back-to-back original tracks. It's a full pint of rock, mate, not half. Indeed. Indeed. Anyway, round of applause for everybody that's just come in. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. I am not worthy. I'm not worthy. But anyway, let's crack on with the music. This is Long Shot.
with someone. Yeah, one thing to hold a grudge over one mistake. Oh, one mistake isn't much to make. It's one mistake, and you're sorry, you're so sorry. But it's just the calm before the storm. Someday the cloud will break so that the sun can shine. Well, ain't it something to be in love with someone? Ain't it shameful when they do the dirty deed? Oh, that's one mistake, a mistake you can't afford to make. A big mistake. Now you've blown away the trust. It's just the calm before the storm. Someday the clouds will break so that the sun can shine. Oh, well, it's nothing to forgive a loved one. Yeah, nothing to forgive and forget. 'Cause we all make mistakes, mistakes we never intend to make. I know it's hard to find forgiveness in your heart. It's just the calm before the storm. Someday the clouds will break so that the sun can shine. It's just the calm before the storm. Someday the clouds will break so that the sun can shine. It's just the calm before the storm. Someday the clouds will break so that the sun can shine. It's just the calm
Very nice words from you there, Lisa. I do appreciate that. It does outbuild the confidence, but thing is, I'm pretty confident in the music. I've just never been confident in the look and stuff of who I am, and that, you know, like everybody, you know, look in the mirror and, you know, almost puke. Yeah, I'm not confident like that in myself, you know what I mean? Confident in the music and the vocals and stuff and the writing ability. I'm pretty confident in that. But I also know there's massive rooms for improvement all the time. You know, you can only better yourself, you can only improve, you know. And the thing is, I've never wanted to be famous or anything like that. No, I've only ever wanted to make a musical career. You know, so whether that be in film or in, you know, making adverts. I don't really care, but provided it's involved with music, you know. I've never really wanted to be like a pop artist or anything like that. And just because I write these tunes and sing these tunes, you know, doesn't mean that, because I mean, I am a vocalist first. But, you know, I can write music so quickly as well, you know. If I'm given a task, I can generally get my head around something and write for it. It just depends on what the subject matter is, you know. I mean, I guess I have limitations, of course, like any musician, but, you know, there's only so much one person can do when you consider 90% of this music was written and produced by myself. There's only one or two tracks here and there that, I mean, for a start, that particular record you just heard was produced at my mate's studio. That's before I had a studio. But obviously I'd written the music and the lyrics and that all before, and I'd rehearsed it and stuff. And we just went in there and banged them out kind of thing. There was a bit of titivation with them, you know, production and stuff, but not a lot, you know. But it's still done exactly the same way as I do it in my studio and in my old studio there. That's my first studio. That's the first iteration of First Floor Audio right there. But you know, it's a lot more presentable now, kind of thing. Even though it's very cable orientated in there. There's just cables everywhere, and yet I've got all the wall sockets are all taken. You know, there's not a wall socket that's left empty. Everything in here is used, you know. It's very busy though. But that's like I said, that's nice of you though. I do appreciate that. I don't know about fabulous, but you know, I'll give it a good old college try. At least I'd give it a go, you know. And I don't do it to become famous, you know what I mean, or anything like that. I don't like the word fame. I don't like the word star. I don't like all that. You know, I think it's just blowing sunshine up people's arses. There's plenty of talented people out there. There is plenty of talented people out there. I'm in a sea of talent. You know what I mean, if you want to call it that. And there's people far superior to me, musicianship-wise. You know, they can play me under the table, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But I never claimed to be a pianist. I never claimed to be a guitarist or a drummer or any of those things. I can get away with things. You know what I mean? And I'm more of a writer and stuff. And I only play, you know, to plonk out a few tunes so I can sing while I play. Because I thought it would be a waste of a piano. When my wife bought me it at 40, I could already play keys, but I couldn't play and sing at the same time. So I taught myself to play and sing at the same time with the piano that she bought me. But it's Kafida there anyway. Is she even talking? Because
I'm here. I'm waving. I'm flipping you a bird. Nobody can see me. What happened? You broke the camera, man.
No,
it's Lee's fault.
But you're just always hiding.
No, check it. Look, my camera is not. It's like it's on. No red mark. What happened? Let me turn it off and back on. Okay, it's all okay. Oh, I'm not a vampire today. Come on.
That's because you've got that stupid background picture. And
you've watched that potty mouth. Let me see about that. Dadgummit. What happened now? It's showing me a black screen. Okay, here we go. None. Oh.
Yeah, there
see,
she
there
is.
I am.
Hello, Beautiful. How you doing?
Beautiful. I like that.
Yeah.
Stop that mess.
Oh,
okay.
Whoa, ease up, fella.
Steady.
Hey, listen, you're going to like the next track. Do you know what it is?
Tough at the top. I should have. Just looking. That is a most pleasant one. She's just a girl.
What is it then?
I called that 5 minutes ago. Just looking.
Well done, that woman.
Woo!
Oh, that woman.
D-Rock's contagious. Woo! Steady now.
Steady on, steady on.
Hey now. Hello, Lisa, butterfly girl. Hi, lasses. Lovies.
It's great to see you all.
She's a girl that's searching for the man of her dreams, feeling like there'll never be that special someone. Her day-to-day existence always clouded. My thoughts of love, where she's longing to be. She enters the scene from the movie screen. She plays the leading lady, holding on to her lover's hand, watching the sun go down. Just looking for love, just looking for someone, just looking for someone to love, just looking for one thing, just wanting a lifetime with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there. Somebody, oh, somebody there. A boy she knows from a while ago came back on the scene today. From memory, as she recalled, it ended when he went away. She just so happened to meet him while out in the rain one day, catching each other's eyes, reflected smiles. The rest is history. Just looking for love, just looking for someone, just looking for someone to love, just looking for one thing, just wanting a lifetime with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there. Just looking for love, just looking for someone, just looking for someone to love, just looking for one thing, just wanting a lifetime with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there, somebody, with somebody there. Just looking for love, just looking for someone, just looking for someone to love, just looking for one thing, just wanting a lifetime
with somebody there, just looking for love, just looking for someone, just looking for someone to love, just looking for one thing, just wanting a lifetime with somebody there, just looking for love, just looking for someone, just looking for someone to love, just looking for one thing, just wanting a lifetime with somebody there, with somebody there, with somebody there. Somebody there, just looking for love, just looking for someone, just looking for someone to love, just looking for one thing, just wanting a lifetime. Somebody there, somebody there, somebody there, oh somebody there, just looking for love, just looking for someone. Thank you, Stephen, as well, mate. Eh? Reached the goal, didn't we? Eh? We did it, didn't we? Eh? Woo-hoo! Whoop, whoop. Round of applause for Stephen and everybody who donated tonight. Thank you very much. Goal achieved. Extra hour you get. I've loved
Do those Jolly Five get a thank you?
Those Jolly Five did get a thank you, mate. Yes, everybody got a thank you. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I meant like, you know, Keanu or
Oh,
Captain.
is that what you're talking
Jack-
about? Okay.
Jack-
Well,
I
haven't
can't
done
be
that.
that
I don't do
gummit. I
them very
can't be.
often, do I? I must admit, they've kind of fallen by the wayside then because I
Right.
don't get the same kind of interactions like that as I did.
Don't
But
let 'em slip through the
here you
cracks.
go- Here you go. This is to everybody. Everybody, thank you for donating tonight.
I guarantee, you're gonna give your love to me. You'll give your love to me.
I do. Thank you, indeed. So yeah, that's just the kind of guy I am. Yeah. Thank you very muchas gracias.
There's no Randys here. Just saying.
Know what?
Savvy. So your hair looks nice, man.
So let's crack on with some music then. This is House Arrest.
I had to take the doggies out.
You gotta do what you gotta do, Kafina. You
Hey.
crack on, baby. Crack on.
The business calls.
House Arrest, eh? Yeah. And this is Unleashed. Kafida likes this one. Very aggressive track this one is, but it's a cool one.
I didn't know who I was till I found a word that comes. I didn't know where I was going until you came along. And you released me. You set this demon free, and you unleashed me. Now this demon is free. I didn't know it wasn't clear, but you showed me the way to go. I didn't pause, no hesitation, when you opened the bars and you released me. You set this demon free, and you unleashed me. Now this demon is free.
Unleashed. Yep, because that's what happened to me basically. I was unleashed with music, you know, and it just set a demon free and just went running wild with it, you know. That's it. It very much explains sort of the, you know, the tenacity I've got for music as well, you know, the unrelenting, unyielding, bloody mind effing want to do music. It's just constant, and I can't live a normal life. I couldn't just stop doing music and just, you know, go and be a normal guy. Whatever job I've had, I've always ended up coming back to music, you know, whether it's been gone out on tour, sort of gigging. Nothing special on tour. When I say on tour, what I mean is, you know, getting enough gigs to stop working and go gigging again. But since my partner died years ago, you know, all I've got now is YouTube. I don't do live gigs anymore. I don't go anywhere and do anything. I've never really been sociable when it comes to music either. I don't follow other bands. I'm not into that, you know. So I don't get to meet other musicians, and I'm a bit of a finicky bastard. You know, I'm very business-like when it comes to music. You know, if I'm going to go and do it for a living, I expect quite a high standard. And a lot of people just want to, what they call jam. Oh, let's just jam. I don't jam. You know, I do here because, you know, I'm not on contract. Do you know what I mean? I'm not on contract to do anything, so I can be much more relaxed about it. So yeah, I do cover versions, but I don't really care about them, you know. But if I was paid to do it, then a lot more effort would be made. You know what I mean? But Yeah, I used to sing for family and stuff. I used to, you know, when I was a youngster, but nobody gets me up on stage kind of thing anymore. You know, like that. It doesn't happen like that. If I have a party, then you know I come in here often and do a few tracks, and I usually get a few people stood around me in my, you know, behind me here and listen and join in and stuff. You know, sing along and. But you know, aside from that, I don't really like sing for family. Nobody asks me, "Oh, Lee, sing us a song." I don't get that. Nor friends, you know. Like I said, I'm very not low on friends, but I'm a hermit. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, right? Because I'm a bit of a dichotomy. Because as much as I'm outgoing in this respect and doing music, as a person, I'm quite reserved and I'm loud. Don't get me wrong, I'm loud and stuff when I'm in the right company and stuff, and I'm quite excitable. But I'm happy in my own company. I'm not narcissistic. I don't need everybody to tell me how great I am and stuff all the time. That's probably a lot of reason why I don't, you know, have people around and asking me to sing and that all the time, because I don't go on about it. I don't make a forced issue of it. When I go to parties, it's like I went to a party the other night and I didn't say a word, but, you know, I just sat there and I was drinking orange juice because I was driving, you know, so not like anybody says, "Oh, Lee, get up and do us a song then, mate." I don't get that, even though people know I've got a studio and I write my own music. Nobody asks me to do anything. You know, I think it's a little bit of taking it for granted kind of thing as well. You know, it's so they've known me so long. You know, especially family members and stuff. You know, it becomes the novelty wears off. That's the thing. You know, so as much as for instance, as much as you tell me how great, you know, you think I am, which is appreciated, but at the end of the day, you know, it's nice to hear, but it doesn't do anything to me, if you know what I mean. It doesn't like it doesn't boost my ego. It's just nice to hear it, but it doesn't boost my ego because I'm really quite low on ego. You know, I'm confident, but not over the top confident with what I do. Do you know what I mean? You know, there's always doubt and there's always room for improvement. And I think any narcissist can't really be like that. And yet, to be a musician, you have to be a little bit narcissistic. You have to be, you know, to be obsessive with what you do. But it's for a reason. It's not so everybody loves me or because I need external validation. I don't need that external validation. It's just nice when I get. There's my Teddy. Look, there he is, Teddo. And I've just literally just cut his hair. So that's how he's looking right now. That is. Exactly how he's looking. Yeah, so sorry, I was meant to read this. I remember when I was a kid, my dad, rest in peace. See, I think it depends on who you are and what family you're involved with. Like I said, with my family, like I said, it's just the novelty's worn off, you know. And because I keep myself to myself, even like I said, even with my studio, it's all soundproofed off. If I'm in here working on a tune or something, my wife just completely ignores me, righteously so, because she knows I don't like being disturbed if I'm in on it. How about this? When I first started recording Turning Point, the album, it was the first album I recorded in my own studio, which was up in the flat, which the small apartment, as you guys would call it, where you saw the video of my first studio. That's where I recorded the first album called Turning Point. And I was literally in that studio 18 hours of the day at least. And all my wife did was bring me coffee now and then. That's literally it. She didn't disturb me, didn't interrupt me, sort of thing. She just brought the coffee in, put it down and walked off. Absolutely brilliant. If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't have even had a studio, because she gave up her bedroom for me to have a studio. Because when I first met her, I'll say just 3 months prior, I'd split up with my ex-wife. And upon living with Kimmy, after a few months, she said to me, "Hey, why aren't you doing your music?" And I said, "Well, there's nowhere to do it, is there? This tiny little flat we're in and that." And she said, "Well, why don't you just use our bedroom and we'll sleep downstairs in the living room?" And I went, "Nah, I can't do that." Took me about 3 months to agree, because she just kept saying it. You need to do your music. You can't just not do it. So, being a carpenter, I built a bed downstairs that could fold up onto the wall, and used the upstairs bedroom, and that also doubled up as a bedroom for my son when he came over. So yeah, which he didn't spend a lot of time in the bedroom anyway. He literally just slept in there. So what's that, Cherinator? Oh right, yeah, okay. Right, hang on, man. There you go, chair. Knock the door, mate, when you... Don't leave the door on the jar either when you come in, all right? Yeah, my wife, my Kimmy, she's top woman. She's very trad wife as well. We're very traditional sort of people, my wife and I. She does the traditional wife thing, and that's not because she's forced to. It's because she likes doing it. She likes being the matriarch. She likes taking care of people. She loves taking care of the kids and everybody else's bloody kids as well. We end up like a bloody crash here, But she's just one of them women. Lets the man be a man and a woman be a woman, and no confusion. You know what I mean? And that's not because she's slave-driven. It's not because I tell her to. It's because she likes to, and because she feels like she's achieving something, and she's doing good for the family. A real solid woman. There's no shame in a woman taking that role. It's not an embarrassment. I mean, if you take it back to caveman time sort of thing, the guy would go out and he'd hunt and gather and put his life in danger and stuff and do dangerous jobs. I mean, like nowadays, men do a lot of dangerous jobs. Not saying everybody does, but a lot of men do. And the woman keeps the fire burning, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Keeps the house nice. Keeps the clothes clean and stuff like that. Not because she has to, but because that, it's just the way the roles are. The woman is the campfire, the home to go back to, and the man generally is yes, it's old-fashioned, and I'm not saying women can't work, but that generally has not proven positive for families, if you ask me. A lot of kids have grown up to be latchkey kids and problematic and get into trouble and all sorts of things because there aren't the parents there to guide, be it one or the other. If you're both out working, then you've got no time for your children. And, to me, what's the point of having children if you haven't got time for them? Isn't that right, Cherinator? He wouldn't know because he ain't got no kids.
Exactly.
So, yeah, there you go.
I wouldn't know.
What's that, Stephen?
I says I wouldn't know about that. As you say, I've got no kids, I'm not married, so...
Mate, I couldn't hear that. Mike, stop, turn you up. Go on, say it again.
I says I wouldn't know. I'm not got any kids, I'm not married, but I deal with one pain in the butt. You know him.
Right.
She's more like a child, now and again.
Yeah. What's this? Looking after my family and loving them brings. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Right, with a lot of women, I hold in high regard, like most decent men do. I hold women in really high regard, you know, and just because you hold them in high regard for doing housework and stuff like that, doesn't mean that's wrong. You know, and all these weirdos that keep saying, no, I can do whatever a man can do. Okay, why aren't you on the oil rigs then? And why aren't you in the sewers or in you know, any sort of situation like that? Why aren't you in the coal mines? Yeah, you know, and in honesty, if you gave women choices of jobs, right, and you put in there childcare, office work, blah blah blah. Most of the time, they'll take their office work or the childcare and that over a bricklayer, a road sweeper, a bin man, you know, or any of those things, purely because women are social creatures. It's just a biological actuality, right? You are social creatures, right? So women would rather be in an office where they can chat with other women, right? Or in childcare because they're natural born care for children, because most women, don't matter even if you haven't had children, most women, I'm not saying all, I'm saying most women love children and will interact with children very easily. A lot easier than men do, you know?
But Lee, see what you're saying there?
My name's not Hayley. If you call me
said,
Hayley one more,
no,
if you misgender me one more time,
listen,
mate,
I said,
I'm gonna get hold of YouTube and get you banned.
No,
Okay.
I never says Haley, I says Butley. So, do you know what I'm going to say to you for that?
Sorry about that, mate.
Right, I was saying to you, Butley, you hang on, there is 1%, 3 jobs that women do, and they walk beside the men. Armed forces.
Yeah,
So there is women.
but they
in
don't
there.
go on the front line though.
They do. Women do go on the front line now.
Wow, very rare though. It's very
No,
rare.
they do. They do
Yeah,
go on the
maybe
front line.
nowadays they do, Cheronator, but they didn't. In general,
Aye,
they didn't.
back then they didn't.
Because
but now they
because
do.
listen, it's really against their actual how do you explain it? It's very unusual for a woman, right, to want to go and take life, because women are life nurturers in their natural environment, kind of thing, in their natural state. A woman is a nurturer, yeah. A man is a hunter, right? It's down to the really basic fundamentals. We're talking about animal instincts here, yeah. We're not talking about social bloody objectivity. We're talking about actual biology and normality without all this bullshit of earning money and all this crap. I'm just talking about the biological drive, right? With a man, it's hunting and gathering, right? Providing. With women, it is nurturing. The woman is the nurturer. The man is the hunter, yeah? That's the fundamentals of it. It's nothing to do with money, nothing to do with social climbing or, you know?
No, I know it's not nothing to do with that. And
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, you can do this job and I can do that job. It's not about that. I'm talking about the fundamentals of, the basics, That's what I'm saying about a man as a man and a woman as a woman. It's the fundamental basics. I'm not talking about a woman can't go and be on the front line, yeah. But if you count the number of women that take that kind of position, mate, it's pointless even mentioning the number because it's minute. That's why when they say, women can drive trucks. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. But how many do? A tiny percentage when you look at the percentage of man versus woman. It's the same as
Lisa was in that.
bricklayers. How many women bricklayers do you think
In
there are?
aviation.
How many women? How many women do you think there are that collect rubbish? How many women do you think? You know what I mean? They may be doing it. There may be a few here and there. How many are mechanics? There may be a few out there that are mechanics. I watch programs and there's women in there that do mechanics, right? But they're few and far between. Most of those dirty jobs and hard labour jobs, usually men do it. You get very few women that take on those positions. And it's only usually women that have been brought up by mechanics that become mechanics. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's the same as women that join the army. It's usually because they've had family members like a brother or an uncle or a father that have joined the army and they follow in the footsteps.
Is it going?
Yeah, exactly. Waste management makes good money. But have you felt the way? You imagine pulling them bins around all day long, mate, the wheelie bins. Yeah, right. Even I wouldn't want to. You know.
Mate, see, hang on, man. With hang on, amount
Talking
of
about back and now. In that, you know, like I said, yes, women do take on these jobs, but when you break down the numbers of the amount of women that take on these jobs, the dirty jobs and the hard jobs, it's tiny. And the number's not even worth mentioning. That's what I'm saying, because women are born, just their fundamentals, the fundamentals of things. A man is a natural hunter-gatherer, right? In other words, he goes out on the hunt to provide for the family kind of thing, or to provide for the tribe, right? And the woman is the nurturer, the campfire, the one that keeps the fires burning and the food ready for when they come in, you know, for when the hunt comes home. You know, I'm just talking fundamentals. I'm not talking about, you know, ideologies. I'm not talking about, you know, people, because then you get into all sorts of, I'm talking about the fundamentals of man, woman, you know, the only two that there are, by the way. Never confused. Anyway, let's get on with some music and stop this bloody chat, because it's supposed to be on a positive here.
Hey now, Lisa was in aviation. Take a moment to say
That's
thank
mad.
you.
I used to spray aircraft until I had my wrist broken.
I told her, I said, well, I would use that kind of talk to maybe fancify a little job like selling Avon. Yeah, I'm in avionics.
Oh, very funny.
Where do I get it from? I don't know.
Have a song, here.
Kifida,
Yes, sir.
do you have your TV on in the background?
Yeah, I've got to go find my
Turn it
kid.
off.
Bossy little man we are today.
God, he's a bit forceful, isn't he? He's your love.
He's feisty. I'm on it, Chairs. It's driving me crazy.
listen to what you put me through at any point in time. On hands and knees, it's you I please, something you never do for me. I'm your mercy, 'cause you curse me. I'm your kind call. I'm your fool for a quiet life, subservient to wife at every point in time. This day and every day, and every kind of way, I chose to live this life. I'm your mercy, 'cause you curse me. I'm your kind call. I'm your fool. I'm your mercy, 'cause you curse me. I'm your kind call. I'm your fool. Incidentally, if you didn't know, that particular record is actually about music. And how, you know, it's like a wife, and I'm subservient to that wife, you know, and it's cursed me. You know what I mean? So like, I'm at your mercy because you've cursed me. I'm at your beck and call. I'm your fool. I play the fool to music basically because no matter what, I can't pull myself away from it. And whenever I get a tune idea in my head, I have to come in and I have to work on it. You know, it's just, it's an obsession. It really is an obsession. So yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. Isn't that
No,
right,
no.
Sharonator? Isn't it, mate? Isn't it?
Yes, it is, mate. It is indeed.
Yeah. What to do for dinner tonight? How about just make it easy, mate? Pizza. I had pizza tonight. It was lovely. I had
Well,
pizza.
I had-
Was it? No,
I
not
had-
tonight. Last night I had pizza. I had pizza and onion rings. And that was absolutely fine. It was stone baked, not too thick. You know, I don't like a lot of bread. You know,
Well, I had the bolognese.
it was awesome. What's that, mate? You had what?
Bolognese. Bolognese.
Bolognese.
I bolognese.
Spaghetti, it's a spaghetti bolognese, eh?
It's a spicy meatball.
It's a spicy meatballs.
It's a very spicy meatballs.
So anyway, this is jetting off. I know John likes this one. There, John. Oh, shoulder's gone a bit funny.
Because you're getting on.
What's on the docket now, Lee?
Here we go. Playing right now. Keeping it positive and keeping the music going. That right, Cheronator? With a smile on our face that is not forced.
turn my back on you.
Oh yeah. Only on Radio 1FA, back to back. Original tracks. It's a full pint of rock, the old cocker, not half.
Bet you thought you'd never be caught. Bet you thought I would never know. Bet you thought things were going the way you planned. Bet you thought you had it made behind my back with your dirty shade. Bet you didn't consider the payback day. Bet I knew you gave you a plan. Bet I knew for just how long. Bet the upper hand belongs to me. Bet the justice that waits to be served belongs to you from the things that you heard. Bet the justice that hangs in wait falls upon the adulterer's blade. To dignity I belong. To pride I belong. Self-respect will never be gone as I turn my back on you. Bet you thought you had it made behind my back with your dirty shade. Bet you didn't consider the payback day. Bet I knew the game you played. Bet I knew just how long every upper hand belongs to me. To dignity I belong. To pride I belong. Self-respect will never be gone as I turn my back on you. As I turn my back on you. As I turn my back. As I turn my back. As I turn my back on
Turn my back on you, like I've done to so many, and so many have done to me.
Did you like that, Lee?
Well, you know, it happens. In life, you know, you go, friends go in circles, don't they? You know, you'll have a group of friends for a while, and then that group of friends will move on or break up.
And it
and
just
then
disappear.
another group of friends, and then you know, and that tends to be life. Because what happens is, as well, if you're not aligned in belief structures and things like that, you know, fundamental things, then usually there's a little bit of conflict. Not that you want everybody to be blowing sunshine up each other's arse. The problem is with nowadays is if you don't believe the same as someone else, you can't agree to disagree. And I've said this for years. You know, what has happened to being able to agree to disagree? You know, people used to go to football matches together when they were on the opposing teams. You know what I mean? So, you know, you used to be friends with people that voted differently to you. You know, and there was never any violence or any anger or any, you know, well, that person's bad because you believe this and you're bad because you believe that. There was none of that. You know, it was just an opinion, really. Now it's just gotten completely ludicrous and sad, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, with me, I want to, and I can hit me on with one hand, see how many friends I've got.
Yeah, well, I'm the same as that, mate. I have literally, like I said, I'm just not needy. You know, like I said, that's usually why I've not got a lot of friends, not because of such ideology or any of those things. It's just that, you know, and where I gave up smoking as well, I realised a lot of people that I used to be friends with only hung out because, you know, they did a bit of the puff.
Well,
And
see,
so
with
did
me,
I. It was somewhere to hang out, you know.
see, with me, do you know why the ones that I finally realised why people were hanging out with me for?
You what?
Why people were saying that they were my friend and that, right?
Right.
I found out, I kind of realised why. You ready? Because of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's very shallow.
When
You know,
this,
like I
when
said,
this,
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you can't judge someone by how much finance they've got, and you can't judge someone by their physicality, and you can't judge someone by their ideology either, really.
'Cause
You know,
that
at the end of
will
the day, the belief structures that you gain are usually from the things you interact with. For instance, if you constantly watch CNN and mainstream media, you end up brainwashed with their ideology, right? Because they want you to act a certain way and act out in a certain way. And people are quite obliging to that. Rather than having critical thinking and thinking, you know, maybe I'm being manipulated. No. Some people just literally believe everything they're told. And
Right.
it's a shame because they're hard to interact with, because you find yourself constantly trying to not educate, because that's very demeaning to people when they take offence. But you find yourself constantly, you know, trying to show other pathways of understanding, you know, and it makes life hard for a lot of people, and especially nowadays, because it's just gone crazy, like I said, with ideology, of all kinds of ideologies as well. It's become the buzzword now, and the buzz life. If you're this person and you believe this, then, like I said, you can't be friends with this person over here because they believe in that. That's what I'm saying, you know. Whereas before, forever, you know, we've been able to agree to disagree on certain things and not even go into it or get argumentative about it. You know, we just literally, that's what you believe and that's what I believe. But that's all gone. You know, now there's so many different types of ideology. You know, it's like, what bracket of ideology do you fit into? Well, you know, I'm involved in them all because I'm a human being and everything matters.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the way it will
Well,
go.
I just think there's a lack of critical thinking. I think there's a lack of understanding for someone else's situation as well. You know, like I said, I'm a live and let live guy, but there's limits when someone tries to throw their shit down my throat, or
Yeah.
tell me that I am going to believe something, or I am going to feel this way about a person, or I'm going to submit to their brain rot because they need validation, you know, for who and what they are. Well, I don't need validation for who and what I am, and I don't ask for it, and I don't demand it. But some of these people, loosely speaking, some of these people demand your allegiance to their ideology and demand your allegiance to affirming their reality. Even if their reality is warped, they demand that you acknowledge it and you in fact celebrate it. And you know, I don't ask anybody to celebrate my existence, and yet over a lot of those particular people, I reckon my existence is amazing in comparison. And yet I don't force my beliefs kind of thing on people. I just
Yeah,
try to
but
have
it's
understanding.
like-
But there's a limit to understanding someone's opinion as well, and someone's point of view. Same as they could think that about me, but you know, there's a difference in that. I don't give a shit.
It's like that
They
guy.
give a shit. Someone who's trying to push you to believe everything that they say or believe their ideology and trying to make you, you know, think of them as something that they're actually not. They're the ones that have got the problem, not you. Because they can't survive without you acknowledging their existence in that way, you know.
Narcissists.
You know
people.
exactly what I'm talking about as well. When I'm
I
talking
do
about
not
it.
no such thing. I learned from you.
Anyway,
Oh, no.
everybody, do as I tell you. Anyway.
Lee,
I have an
listen,
idea, Judy. How I mean, if we can't all meet, there's one way we kind of sort of could. Just a minute, children. Lee could drop like a link or something. Hang on a minute, and we could be in like a room and meet and talk and see each other, or you don't have to be on cam, just to hear each other's voices and stuff.
Yep, I can do that. That is a pathway to
Save
at
the
least
date.
joining up. You can join me here behind the scenes sort of thing, and we can have a proper
We
chat
could say howdy.
and stuff.
as it was,
Well, I've got
as it was
I've got a
finished, Lee,
Discord, and if you want to meet there, you can. But the thing is, I don't go on Discord a lot, to be honest. I use it as a secondary place to post my stuff. You know, so I don't use it a lot, but I am still willing to get on there and you know.
I
But
don't
the
have
thing
it.
is,
I
if
need
there
a
was more,
space.
if there
That
was
is
more
one
people,
huge app.
Kafida, if there was more people that joined my Discord and were active in it all the time,
Yeah.
I would be more inclined to get on there, and I'll just sit in the chat, and if anybody wants to join me to chat to me, they just could. You know. But the thing is, it doesn't happen. I've tried this before.
They would know how to work it
I
too.
invited
There's like a-
everybody to join me. I used to sit on the chat for an hour, and if someone didn't join me, that's how I met a lot of people that I speak to that used to come into the show that don't come anymore. You know, Off-World Atom was the first person I actually spoke to online,
Who was it?
on you know on camera and vocally, you know, not through typing. He was the
It's
first
got like
one
a
Off-World
chat
Atom.
video calling or something too, doesn't it?
Well, in Discord, you can have as many people as you want join the chat.
And on your StreamYard here, the one you're using, it's a top number 12, I think.
No, it's 10, isn't it?
10. Okay.
I think it's
10 or 12.
But still, that's usually enough anyway, because there's not a lot of people want to join or talk, you know. So
And we can link people come in and go as they wanted to. Or, you know,
plus, if you did the Discord, Lee, you wouldn't get a word on edgeways.
what's that? If we had Kafida there,
Aye.
what? I did nothing.
You would never shut up, Kafida.
I had stopped talking before you started, sir.
yeah. Sometimes I've got to mute her, and she doesn't even
Oh,
realise
she's
I'm
like,
muting her. She just carries on nap.
We love Kafida, we love you, but you up to
I
much.
wasn't even talking.
Listen.
He just didn't understand you.
It's what they call the garden fence syndrome, right?
No, do you know what that is?
Women
Got
like
me.
to convert. Listen, women like to converse. Okay.
No, mate, no,
The
do you know what she's
best
got?
talkers in the world are women, not men.
Lee, do you know what she's got? She's got
Talkalitis.
she's got this thing called,
talkalitis, mate. That's what she's got.
no, she's got this thing called gift of the gab.
I'm going to have a shoe shop set up and some butts in a few minutes.
Yeah, Saturdays would be a great time to get together and have a
Set up a
chat
shoe shop.
after the show, Lisa. That would be a great time. I could, like I said, what I could do is anyway, I could drop the link in the chat after the show, well, at the end of the show on a Saturday night, and you could join me backstage with whoever's with me as well. You know, you could
Yeah,
do
'cause
that.
you wouldn't have to
I'm
get
quite
up the
happy
next
for
day
that.
as early. You know.
Henry's come on backstage with us before. And
Yes, he
he's
has.
come on camera.
Joanne's been on once.
Joanne, Joanne's not been around for a while again, has she?
Yeah.
Where's she been? She
In the
just
chat
disappeared again.
recently. Um, and Ted come on to help you there the one day with the computer sound issues or something. One day he come on and he didn't know that you were still live and he was nagging about something. We're like, oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
My Discord, is there the link to my
Beep.
Discord in every show? I think there is. You know, in the description of the show. If not, if you go to the About section on my channel, you'll find the links, all the links you
I'll
need.
bet you a link.
There's one for Discord, and I'm sure Kafila will share it anyway. If there, like I said, if there was more activity on Discord, because I do check it, I check it daily, and if there was actual conversations going on there all the time and stuff, I'd put a quick thing in the chat saying, look, I'm gonna be on the phone basically, and all you do is on the side, you know how Discord works, on the side I would just be in one of the phone call things, you know, and you could just join that. You don't always have to show your face either, because a lot of people don't, you know. I do, because obviously everybody wants to see me, don't
Yeah,
they?
because you would, because as I done the emojis,
Feed my narcissism, come on.
Lee, as I did with the wee emoji earlier on, I did a wee one, a wee sun, a wee up arrow, and a wee peach as a bum.
Right, okay, I got you. That's disgusting.
blow the sunshine right up there.
Well, I don't have Discord. I don't think it's going to let me even click it because it wants to open it up before I can go get that. I might be able to screenshot it and
I've got many Discords
want
that
me to
I've
copy
got
the
running,
link?
but
Google
yeah,
image.
Kafida, put my link to my Discord in there, because it's easier if we all meet at mine.
That's
anyway,
what I was trying to do.
Because we're
But
talking
we're-
about the connection to the show anyway, so
I don't have
it's
Discord on
handy.
here.
And on my
That link,
Discord
yeah,
as well, there's
that link.
on my
Peter, hold on.
Discord.
Peter, hold on.
Hang on,
Hit
mate.
it, chair. Where I don't
Yeah.
have it, it wants
On
to
my
open it
Discord as well, I'm
up.
going to show. I'm
but
going
I
to
don't
show
have
you
it.
something. I'll show you something anyway on my Discord. Hang on.
Lee,
Hang on,
guys,
mate.
see the
Hang
link?
on. Let me.
I'm
think,
trying to say
mate.
something. See the link I just put in the chat?
Right.
That's Lee's Discord.
It's like an invitation or something. There you go. It doesn't show us
so
a
on my
link.
Discord, right? So if you find my Discord, you've got backstage, which is the chat, basically. When was this?
This cell phone is so full.
Just
It said some kind of update is needed. 8 kilobytes. But wants me to make room.
Mad
don't have-
Scotsman. I'm taking it. That's you, Cherinator.
Yes,
That works.
Right, so there's that, and then you've got my music links, which is all my songs and the albums in album form, and links to it all. Right, instrumentals, different albums, same as it is on YouTube, sort of thing. There's just links to the YouTube stuff.
Now, what is it? The bandwagon thing?
No, Project Bandwagon. That's in a minute. Hang on a second. Then we got all my show links, right, to all the shows that I ever do. Then there's my studio photographs. So that's when I got my new piano and stuff. What's going on there? Yeah, there's like that's the piano I'm using right now that's sat here in front of me. That's my newest one. And yeah, there's many photographs of my studio and stuff. And if you keep going up, there's all my equipment that I use. There's my old piano there. There's my speakers and stuff, my guitars. Right, and then it goes plenty of times back. But if you go right the way back, there's how I built the studio as well. That's the speakers that I use right now. These big ones here. That's my bass bins there. Those ones.
What the
And
hell?
there's floor monitors there as well. I had a proper setup. Well, I have got a proper setup. And there's John who passed away. There's my daughter Amber. There's Stag, obviously.
How's she doing anyway?
The good-looking me. And that's Carl. He's changed a lot. Carl has. Yeah, John's no longer with us.
Lee, how's Amber doing?
Sorry, mate.
How's Amber doing?
I can't hear you, mate. Say it again slowly.
How is Amber doing?
I don't know. I haven't heard from her for months, mate.
Lee,
I'm
remember?
not going in. I'm not going into it, mate.
Lee, remember, see when I'm talking, well, if it's got a mic on mute, it reverbs. Because I'm hearing
Alright.
me.
I do what
Okay.
now?
You're reverbing.
I
Really?
can't hear a reverbing, mate. It's
I
not
can.
happening on my end.
There's nothing on except the air conditioner.
It's not reverbing my end, mate. It's probably to do with you, Chair.
It sounds just like a little
When
When
fan.
only
that-
one person can hear it, it's usually to do with your system, not mine.
Lee, I'm not using my old mic, I'm using the camera mic.
Yeah, well, that's it. This was X Factor.
Ooh.
I only went because my daughter wanted me to go.
Aye.
What
And
song
it's
did you
just a
sing?
that's where I learned what a load of bullshit it is. Yeah, look, there's these booths that you have to stand right in front of someone. They can literally smell your breath.
You told me
It's
before, but I
horrid.
don't remember.
It's horrid. It's my first gig ever. That was my first gig ever.
Did you sing Elton
Yeah,
John?
there's just lots of, look at me there, look at that, look, eh?
Lee was like 5 for his first performance.
Oh yeah, when I first did it. That's the round the world boat race there. We played there twice. That's a Hotel Burston. That's where I used to get agents. A lot of people like that photograph.
Ooh. Suit you, sir.
There's
It's
me
so
there.
rap. It's like Rat Pack or something.
Lee, I've got another thing for Lisa Ray when she says me in an Italian accent. It's me, Mario.
Whoa!
Yeah, don't do that again.
Scared me.
There's
I'm not
me
gonna-
there. Look at me there. Look at that.
Oh my God, who's that person?
Take a look at me now.
Person there compared to that person here?
There's Larry. He was the guitarist, and there's John, who played keyboards. And that was the first iteration. That's Spike. He's no longer with us, and nor is John.
Lee, you remind me of. I've seen a picture of
I set
Dark
these
Shadows.
photographs up. That's my camera down on the floor that I put it down there and set it
And
on the timer.
you look like Grant Wilson from Ghost Hunters there.
Lee.
Yes, mate.
So I was just saying, so see that the Discord link, guys, I put in the Discord for Lee. That is the Discord you'll see.
You're in my Discord, are you? Oh, yeah. I see how it is.
Oh, but
Yeah,
the
then we got Project
Bandwagon.
Bandwagon, which
Yeah.
this was me building my spaceship and my aliens.
And Lee, Johnny Quest joined as well.
From little car parts and paper clips, clay.
Yeah,
They're cool.
that's how I build it. Yeah, that's how it starts. Just Fimo.
And you can see a couple of UFO clips, I think, there too. Somewhere, if you go to see the Turn My Back on You video, in the beginning, there's some animated cartoon-like stuff. After part of that, you'll see an object in the sky. That is a UFO we caught on camera. It's not a helicopter, anything like that.
Yeah, those legs retract as well. They go up inside. That's all sprayed now. Obviously, it's all silver now. Yeah. That was a bad, flawed design because the legs wanted to just split apart, and plus, I didn't want them permanently there, so I got rid of those leg ideas. Those bits of string was there to stop the legs from splaying. So when I made these legs, they're a lot more stable because they're actually made out of. On the bottom of roller blinds, inside the bottom there's a bit of plastic which is just a weight really for the blinds, and I use that for the legs. Yeah, there's many things in here.
Lee,
Said.
see
As
in
from
your
being-
Discord.
What's that, mate?
See in your Discord, are you going to be doing like rules, ROLES?
Am I gonna
Like-
do what?
Like, see how you've got like a moderators.
Yeah,
The
I
one
haven't,
that-
I haven't even got into that side of things, mate.
Well,
I
mate,
haven't
see
even got into it.
if you want somebody to do that, I'll do that for you because I know how to do it.
Yeah, well, I'll have to muck around with that later. I don't really care about it right now. But look, yeah. Welcome all. Kiss.
Oh, the wee softy.
See, it's the kind of guy. It's just the kind of guy I am.
Okay,
Now, if
right.
you look over here, right, for instance,
Can I get 5?
you got the rules there, right? There's the rules. Look. Look. Do not
It
post
says that-
in this
it says I
rules
don't have
section.
permission.
Go backstage.
Lee.
So anyway, what I'll do, look, community hangout, stream room, right, and lounge. So what I'll do is I'll enter into the stream room like I am now. Look, there you go. See, I'm in there now. You could basically join that right now and you could talk to me.
Hold on.
But obviously I'm doing the show right now, so it's pretty useless me you doing it now. Oh, here we go. See, mad Scotsman, you just joined me. All right. Now don't do it again, all right? Yeah, Stephen. Well, I'm leaving it now anyway, all right? So just, you know, how'd you leave?
Just hang up.
Just hang up.
I just hang
Where?
up.
Where?
See, right, so see if you see where you look at it, where you get right down the bottom, it'll say voice. The voice of the box thing at the bottom, where it says voice connected. There's a wee phone.
What?
It says, hold on, let me see.
Oh, it's here, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there.
Ah, you donkey.
Yeah, I forgot, mate, for a minute. I was being donut. But
Ah, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
so if you want to chat, guys, that's where we'll be. We'll be in backstage. Always welcome. I will check on it more regularly if you're gonna be in there. You know. But alternatively, you know, stay tuned because we got like another record to play, and then we're gonna head out.
And Lee,
But
do
it's
you know,
been great. Yeah. What, mate?
do you know what else I was going to say?
What was you gonna say, mate?
See in the Discord,
Yeah.
see how you've got like live show links, but put up a channel like different. See the people that join, and they want to share like some of their stuff with you.
Yeah, but they
But
can do that.
that's-
They can do that backstage on the backstage chat. That's what that's for. For chatting and sharing your stuff. All right. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about. It's all about sharing is caring. Yeah.
Sharon is Nick Karen.
So right, let's play a record, and guess what it is? Kat's gonna love this.
Oh, please don't say it's.
This is tough at the top because it is.
It must be tough at the top tough at the top for everyone in the green seats. It must be tough at the top, living like a king. The ultimate power, but it's easy to drop all the way from the top. You could hit the bottom, and all those moves you made, well, they're gonna affect you. A force to behold, the ultimate power, a force to behold in your hands. A force to behold, with what a disaster, a force to behold in your hands. Disaster. A force to behold, the ultimate power, a force to behold in your hands. A force to behold, with what a disaster, a force to behold in your hands. A force to behold, the ultimate power, a force to behold in your hands. A force to behold, but what a disaster! A force to behold in your hands. Disaster.
Well, there you go. And now Kafita's favourite part of the show, as we know.
Yeah, my favourite part.
Let
as
me
well.
wipe off my hand. I'll be right back.
You've got no time for that because we're literally going now. You know?
Bloody typical Kavita.
She can't
Bloody
do this.
typical.
So, Stephen,
Yes, my friend.
thank you very much for joining us at the last.
You are very welcome, my
All
friend.
done.
Oh, it's good. So, Cherinator, say your tatars and I shall boot you out to the backstage where we can join each other after.
Yes, my friend. Well, guys, remember, I'm back on Saturday night at 6 p.m. EST and all that stuff, and 11 p.m. UK time for the big chip here, songs from the Mothership. And remember, one follow Kafita, if you haven't already. Your boy here will be follow as well. And don't forget, guys, at the end of the show, please leave a lovely comment if you haven't already.
On anything you like.
Right,
And
see you
we'll see you-
backstage
we'll see
then.
you all later.
Chair. So, wave tatar then. Wave tatar.
I'll just reiterate
Nice
what
one,
Steven
Sharon. It was
said.
lovely to see you, mate. Just stick
Tuesdays,
around, bud. I'll be
Thursdays, and Saturday.
backstage in a minute. Yeah, sorry, Kat. You crack on, Kat. What was you saying?
Oh, I'll just reiterate what Steven said. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here. Get you some tunage. Chill, chat, and rock on Tuesdays. Thursdays, back to back original tracks, Radio Winnipeg. What kind of rock? No. Saturdays are songs from the Mothership. Song covers and originals.
So eloquent. So eloquently said. Thanks very much, Kathina.
No shortage of tunes there. Rock out your week, man.
I've written a few tunes of my own, haven't I?
Yeah, just a few.
Just a couple. One or two here and there.
You've had your hands on so many too, a certain amount. 400 was. Probably around 450 now. 420, 450 ish.
Yeah.
You've had something to do with.
I do write a lot. A lot of it though was to do with obviously doing that 100 tracks on Night Writer. I mean, to be fair, I could just
Lot of good
continue
ones.
doing that show, but I don't really think Chill and Chat is doing as well as Night Writer did. But you know, what do you do?
You threw up a poll already about it, didn't you?
Yeah, but like I said, I'd have to do that poll on every show so I catch everybody and everybody's opinion. And then I'd have to look across the board.
Well, you know what, Lee?
To see
It's
how
your
popular it
dadgun
is.
channel. If you feel like making a song
yeah, I know,
Tuesday,
yeah. If I
go right
wanted to
ahead.
do it, I could just start it up again, you know.
Do it when you want. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let me know beforehand, and I will share it out. That way, you know, people are, oh, okay. Hey, and the audience gets to crack at naming the tune too. So
Yeah. Well, a lot of them got named by patrons of the show, which was nice. So yeah, that was a good thing. It was a very good thing. So Kafida, anyway, thank you very much for joining me.
you're welcome.
I will drop you out now, and we will play the outro. And,
Okay.
And I'll see
Thanks
you
for coming,
backstage.
everybody, in chat.
Good girl.
See you Saturday.
Wave ta-ta then.
I'll talk.
She always carries on talking. I always feel like I've kicked her out too soon. I haven't, trust me. She just doesn't know when to pause. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me here tonight, and indeed us here at First for Audio. I'd love to see you on Saturday for Songs from the Mothership, where I butcher a few cover versions and a couple of my own here and there as well, and just have a laugh generally. But join us, and thanks very much to everybody who donated tonight, who gave us that extra hour. I do appreciate your support, and thanks to the moderators. Thank you to the members. You keep the show running, and thanks to everybody in white and everybody lurking out there. I know you are lurking out there. We don't want to be in the chat because you're not really a chatty person, but that's fine. And anybody else that watches later, please share the video out there so other people get to know we're here, because YouTube doesn't help me at all. It's only by word of mouth now, and even then, it's not growing. So I would really love it if we could show YouTube, you know, that we can do this on our own back. And even though I need to join another platform or two as well, just to try and gain some other members. Hey, so I'll see you back here on Saturday. And as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, live in the moment, because the only time that matters is now. There's only now. See you guys. Peace and love.
If I wait till tomorrow, time that matters is now. Time is an illusion. Breathing every second. The only time that matters is now.